Welcome to the NGConnects Podcast, where National Gypsum team members and industry leaders share insights and advice to solve construction and design challenges. We obsess over the details to help you build better. Hi, I'm Chris Whitmire with National Gypsum Company, and in this episode, I talk with Tim Hessert about the role of high-performance building materials in data center design and construction. Tim is the Vice President of Sales for National Gypsum Company. He has over 35 years of experience with National, starting as a field sales representative and rising through the ranks to lead our sales teams today. Anyone watching the news knows that data center construction is booming. Today, we'll talk about how high-performance building products provided by National Gypsum Company can solve fire and acoustical rating challenges, contribute to sustainability goals, play a role in the long-term resilience of these facilities, and help ease construction scheduling issues. Tim, great to have you. Welcome to the show. I know when the roster came out with all these podcast sessions, I had this one circled on the calendar. So welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure, Chris. Great to be with you. And yeah, what an interesting topic, right? Certainly timely.
Yeah, let's get into that. So the cloud, we're always, with work, streaming, just various things throughout our day-to-day lives. As a building products expert, how does construction play into this from your side of the fence?
Yeah, you can imagine this topic certainly in the headlines, and you think about the digital race, as you called it, or just the influence of AI in our society now. So these are, the factories of the digital age. I think the North American construction value for this data center in 2024 was around $75 billion with a B. It's forecasted to go to over $110 billion by 2030. So you're looking at really long-term sustained growth, very topical, and these are complex facilities, right? This isn't your average warehouse, right? It has specialized equipment. It has specialized construction requirements. And that puts National Gypsum and our products in a very unique position to help design and build most efficiently these data centers.
Yeah, that growth is explosive. A year ago, we really weren't talking much about data centers, and it just kind of came on the scene. And just about any time you pick up read an article or see, a news clip, there's something on there about these data centers going up, and I know they're going all over the place. I know you and your teams are actively pursuing those projects, and so it's exciting to see for sure. So when a design or construction team starts thinking about these data center projects, the design, the construction aspects of it, what challenges do you think that they run into in your day-to-day stuff, everyone that you talk to on all those fronts, the architectural folks, the contractor folks, dealer folks? Let's just focus on the architectural side of things, design standpoint. What keeps those folks up at night when they're starting to plan for these things?
Yeah, there's several things, and they're often in conflict with each other, as you can imagine here. So sustainability certainly is one. I think fire safety, acoustics is another, and then of course just getting these big facilities up to speed. So when you think sustainability, just think about the power generation that's going on here, right? And we'll talk a little bit more exactly what's involved, but these are big, energy-intensive, complex buildings. So the owners really want to do their best to offset all of that energy and try to put the best, low embodied carbon design there, so both in the materials and in the design, right? So we certainly can lean in and help in that fashion there. And then from a fire safety, Chris, really non-negotiable, right?
That's where we start, right? I mean, in our world,
these facilities could really be a catastrophic risk. So passive fire resilience is a big part of what we need to think about here in the use and selection of products. And then when you think about acoustics, I mean, just imagine the noise that's generated here. You have the fan blades from these servers that are whizzing 24/7. You have power generation going on, and it's not, that's not the only thing in these buildings. So you got to build in some sound
You got to plan for that stuff.
Absolutely,
right?
You got to plan for it. And then lastly, getting these online, right? So they're complex. They involve a lot of products. They're massive in scale. So we want to think about speed to get these up and online.
So let's start at the top there. You talked about sustainability and energy. How can gypsum board and how can National Gypsum Products really address some of those concerns from an architectural standpoint on the sustainability side? Are there specific products that you really go to or lead with with those architectural conversations?
Yeah, absolutely. And you and your team know as well as anybody, when you think about design here, it's all about low embodied carbon, right? And this is greenhouse gases, right? And then it goes all the way from when you think about the product and or the building itself, from extraction of the raw material to the manufacturing process, to transportation. Once the product's made, you got to get it to the distributor, to the job site, right? And then in the building itself, and then all the way cradle to grave until disposal, so and product of recycle. So all that's calculated when you're thinking about embodied carbon.
So let's talk a little bit about specific products. You know, I know National Gypsum just launched the Evolve family of products, the new sustainable family of products. You know, one of the things, or few of the things that are talked about, just from a sustainability aspect, when you manufacture that product, you know, you're taking gypsum out of the core, and as a result of that, there's some other things that come along with that from a manufacturing process, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a perfect fit for when you think about trying to offset your carbon footprint. So our Evolve product, a lighter weight 5/8 product, right? So it's about 20% lighter than a conventional 5/8 fire shield.
Significant. 20% lighter is very significant.
It is. So beyond the attribute of lighter weight in the manufacturing process, you could imagine. So it uses less material in the core, hence less water, less energy, and then you can put more on a truck and get that to your distributor and or to the job site more effectively. So perfect product when you think about low embodied carbon footprint offset.
Let's hit the next one, fire safety and acoustic.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it is a balancing act, and it's difficult to solve for just one. Unfortunately, we have a line of products that can assist in both. So if you think about our SoundBreak family of products, right, these are designed uniquely to help with sound suppression as well as fire rating, right? So again, you're solving for both here. So our SoundBreak XP family, and you can also have an enhanced core, a C core in that SoundBreak. So if you think about, working through that on this job site, that's a perfect option for both sound and fire.
When we start talking about fire and sound, is there a tool or resource that our audience members can go to maybe identify those fire rated assemblies, acoustical STC values?
Great question, and one we get frequently. So we came out with a fire and sound assembly selector, right? So if you are looking for a specific fire rating as well as a combined STC, you can go to this website, put in the wall its composition, whether it's a double layer, single layer steel, or an STC of 55, and it'll give you the exact assembly you're looking for.
In just a few clicks.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about our favorite color.
Yeah.
And it's not scarlet and gray.
No.
It's not gold.
Well.
Yeah. We don't want to go there.
It's purple.
We don't want to go there. Right. But let's talk a little bit about purple.
So National Gypsum introduced our XP line of products in 2003. And by 2012, Chris, we received a registered trademark. You think about that, it's a very unique thing, especially in the building material field. So when you think purple, obviously you think National Gypsum, but you also think mold and moisture protection and just synonymous with performance. It set the benchmark. It is the standard in the industry. And we have rolled that between the face paper and the core across all of our commercial panels. So
let's talk a little bit about those purple products as it relates to data centers.
Right.
Where would why would architects need to design around for moisture resistance?
Well, we touched on it briefly, but I said the power generating, right, and the equipment that's in there. So you got to really drive massive cooling systems, right? And these cooling systems are going to run 24/7. And just, that alone, if unmonitored, could lead to, high humidity if unchecked. And then you're really thinking if high humidity unchecked really relates to mold and moisture problems. So it's just going to be a constant that you're going to have to be monitoring and mindful of. So build in a little resilience, right? I mean,
Sure.
Think about the products that National Gypsum has in the concept and the architectural phase and put them in. So that's obviously what we recommend. Our Gold Bond XP family of products. You can look at our Evolve platform, which also has an extension of XP.
Mm-hmm.
And we have specialized products. We have a XP Ultra Shield, which is a 3/4 inch product. Again,
Robust. Yeah.
purple facing paper, additive in the core, all mold and moisture resistant, right? So these products perform at the same level, but for different applications.
Let's say a contractor, an architect wants to raise the bar. Moisture, mold, and mildew resistance above and beyond those paper face products. What is there another product offering that those folks
we
can
have
go
that
to?
too, right? Yeah. So we have the complete portfolio. It's our glass mat face products. That's our EXP line.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think interior, you think interior extreme, right? So that's the next level of resiliency or protection. And as you talk about time and efficiency, as this race to finish the building, you're competing with other trades, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. It's a perfect option to top out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when they get in front of some of the other trades and drop down from the ceiling the glass face product. So the roof is on, the building's not conditioned, a side or two may be open as a lot of construction's going on early on, but they can get ahead of those other trades and drop that down. When those trades come in, they'll bore a hole or two into the ductwork or the piping or the wiring, but that allows them just to patch around that. And then when they're finished, the last is just dropping down, from there down. So it's really an efficient use and also the right product in giving that condition of that space being not conditioned.
Yeah, I know the MEP trades really like that interior extreme. They, as you said, the contractors can put that up. The MEP folks can go in there and do their thing. And
if they're ahead,
they're staying on track
too. It's a patchwork nightmare, right? If you get them in before the wallboard panel goes in. So it's a big benefit from timeline and efficiency to get in ahead of them. And that product's perfect for that.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine being a drywall contractor and trying to retrofit around all those the ductwork, the plumbing, the electrical wires and all that. And as you said, that interior extreme product is perfect for that top out application. So well said. Expensive equipment, valuable people. Your friend and mine, Warren Barber, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about roofs.
Yep.
Warren talks about it's just so critical, especially in these data centers, having the right type of roof. Again, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about deck cell roof cover boards and how they're applicable to these data centers.
Critical infrastructure, you want to protect it, right? And so the roof cover boards do that effectively, right? And they provide resistance to wind uplift, hail damage, temperature fluctuation, the thermal outlet, right? So, and then you just think about what's on these roofs, right? They're HVAC units, power units. There's going to be a consistent flow of people maintaining these, right? So you want to protect long-term the human traffic that's going to be on top of the roof for these maintenance, right?
Yeah.
And it's just guarding against the roof protection itself as well as the insulation below it. So it's really the best in class cover board.
Yes, I would agree.
To protect this large investment.
Yeah, I would agree for sure. And with these data centers, I know there are a lot of double layer systems on there too. A lot of resiliency, as we like to talk about, on that roof. Contractors, let's focus on them a little bit. Beating the clock, speed, efficiency. Maybe touch a little bit on Max 12 and Max 16 and those grid marks.
Yeah, I mean, you move right to the space. So once the confidence is there in the product selection and performance, the contractor's all about speed, right? That's where their bread and butter is. And there's no company and no product in the industry that can touch what we can do for these contractors and these timelines. So we have a patented technology called grid marks. Essentially, on all of our interior facing products, Chris, as you know, we have 4-inch, it's the face of the panel has 4-inch hashes around the perimeter of the board, as well as 16, 24, and 32 inches. We have marks running up the face of the board. So when you think about that, you can take that panel in either horizontal or vertical application and marry it up to the framing member, right? So in a world of, increasingly lower skilled or unskilled labor challenges, we make it simple, right? I mean, and again, no cost to anyone in this. This is proprietary. It's on the face of every one of our interior panels. So then if you combine that with, as you mentioned, the Max 12 or Max 16 screw patterns, and again, these are UL approved, proprietary, right? So no one has these either. And that essentially allows you to reduce maybe up to Max 16, you can reduce up to 24 screws in the field of a board.
That doesn't seem like a lot, but when you start talking about these data centers and some of these projects,
thousands of boards.
And 2-3 million square feet of board.
It adds up really quick, and your installation savings. So not only your screw savings, but your installation savings could be pushing close to 50%. And don't take my word for it, right? But, we do our homework. So we had a third party do some comparisons. And we've been out in the market for several years now. And RS Means has done all the calculations, and we have all that out on our website too. So you can actually put in the run of wall you're looking at, the assembly you're thinking about, and we can compare your Max 12, your Max 16, and derive for you the savings. The built-in efficiency is there for the taking, right? So yes, and again, it's proprietary, both from the grid mark offering on the face of our panels and the UL fastener patterns. This is unique to National Gypsum and a massive cost savings initiative and tool for our contractors.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of parts and pieces to this, and this is just fascinating stuff. It's really clear, both on the contractor side and on the architectural side. This isn't just about four walls and a roof. I mean, there's a lot of nuances in this this new space we're getting into, this data center space. Architects, contractors, they're delving into these data center projects. What's the best way for them to engage National Gypsum? Start having those conversations, being at the forefront. What's your recommendation on getting the National Gypsum folks engaged with the architects and the contractors? Yeah,
multiple paths, as you can imagine, Chris, as all of our folks are oriented to help serve in any capacity on these job sites. But I think one of the easiest ways for the architects would be to reach out to their construction design managers, right? Yep. Also, as another option, call our 1-800-NATIONAL line, right? That's our technical line and our construction services team, the best in the industry. I mean, if you want to talk about the correct product, for your project, right? Or any of the other tools that we talked about, you just need a little base or an orientation of understanding where it is, what it will do for me. These folks, that's what they're there to do. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, our field sales representatives, all available to assist in any manner.
Well, they're led by the very, very best.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
Well, I mean that, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you here on today's episode. Always enjoy the conversation, the engagement, and I know how busy you are, and I know how busy your travel schedule is. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here today, and always great conversation.
Well,
so I appreciate
my pleasure,
it.
And I appreciate what your team's doing to really highlight our differentiation in this space for data centers, as well as this very important topic. And Chris, we have a handy data center website, and I would direct you to nationalgypsum.com/applications/data-centers. It's all there. Infographics, podcasts, maybe even this will show up. And any other systems and assemblies, and some of the links to the other stuff that we talked about.
This will be the number one click right here, no doubt. So, well, Tim, I appreciate that. And we do it together. Sales and marketing, we're all in this together. And again, just really want to take a step back and thank you for your time. So thank you so much.
Yeah, great to be with you. Thank you.
All the resources we've mentioned today will be added to the show notes. All our podcasts can be found on your favorite platform or by visiting nationalgypsum.com/podcasts. If you have any questions or an idea for a topic, email us at podcast@nationalgypsum.com. National Gypsum Company is the exclusive service provider of reliable, high-performance building products manufactured by its affiliate companies and marketed under the Gold Bond, Proform, and Permabase brands. The National Gypsum name has been synonymous with high-quality, innovative products and exceptional customer service since 1925. The information provided in this podcast is for general information purposes only. For specific building or design questions, please consult with the 1-800-NATIONAL Construction Services team or your regional National Gypsum Construction Design Manager. Always use products in accordance to the manufacturer's recommendations.